In the cold northern seas, specialized trawlers leave port early in the morning, heading for the deep waters where salmon are migrating. On deck, sailors carefully prepare each large net, each steel tow line, and check the entire winch system, cranes, and cold storage. Each trip is a fierce battle between man and ocean, where weather, wind, and wild salmon schools determine success or failure. When the ship enters an area where sonar signals detect salmon schools, the captain orders the nets to be dropped. Each giant net, hundreds of meters long, is dropped into the sea, dragging buoys to mark the location. The ship's engine roars, pulling the thick nets across the water, sweeping through each moving school of fish. Salmon are caught, struggling violently in the whirlpool, each weighing tens of kilograms being herded into the net compartment. When the sensor indicates that the net is full, the sailors quickly pull in the net, and the crane lifts the heavy net onto the deck. The sight of thousands of silver salmon struggling, reflecting the sunlight on the sea surface, is a sign of a bountiful catch. Workers immediately sort the fish by size, and those that meet the standards are immediately put into a deep freeze system to preserve their freshness. There is also a processing area on board, where the fish are gutted, their organs removed, washed with cold sea water, and then packed into containers at sub-zero temperatures. Those that do not meet the standards or are injured are processed into animal feed or salmon oil. After many days of continuous work at sea, the ship returns to port, its hold full of fresh salmon. As soon as it docks, the fish are transferred to a processing plant located near the coast. Here, a modern chain begins to operate. The salmon is thawed, quality checked, and then put through an automatic cutting system. Sharp machine knives divide the fish into uniform fillets. The skin is peeled off with rollers, and the bones are separated by ultrasonic waves. Each step takes place in a cold environment to ensure the original flavor of wild salmon. The meat is then divided into different products: vacuum-packed fillets, smoked salmon, salmon eggs, salmon oil, and even supplementary feed from the fish's leftovers. Each tray of finished products is sealed, labeled with a traceability code, and transferred to deep freeze storage to await shipment to supermarkets or export. The smell of fresh salmon and the sound of machinery echoing through the factory mark the end of a labor cycle that lasts for weeks. From the moment the salmon are discovered in the middle of the ocean until each piece of fish is displayed on the shelves. It is a series of meticulous, precise, and challenging tasks. Salmon trawling requires not only skill but also courage to face nature. Each salmon harvested is the crystallization of sweat, effort and pride of fishermen who have lived their whole lives with the sea, preserving precious seafood resources and bringing the taste of the ocean to all corners of the world. Once the first batches of fresh salmon are transported from port to the factory, the processing continues to become more sophisticated. Workers in white protective suits, Hats and cold gloves stand along an automated line. After being washed in cold salt water, the salmon is passed through an X-ray inspection machine to detect any remaining foreign objects or defects. The highest quality fish are then sent to the advanced processing, such as filleting for sushi or sashimi, where freshness and color are paramount. Fresh salmon is a vibrant pink-orange color. Cut precisely with ultra-thin blades so as not to crush the meat fibers. Technical chefs in the factory check each cut, ensuring every fillet is uniform, without bruises or scratches. The fish are then vacuum-packed, packaged in a sterile environment and labeled with the country of origin, date of catch, and storage temperature. These shipments are sent directly to high-end restaurants or to markets in Japan, Europe, and the United States, where salmon is considered a symbol of purity and nutrition. Meanwhile, smaller fish or those with imperfect meat are transferred to the canning or smoking line. The smoking process takes place in a closed chamber, where the fish is marinated with natural sea salt, sugar, and spices, then dried in oak or cherry wood. The aromatic smoke permeates every fiber of the meat, creating a unique flavor that gourmets around the world love. Other parts of the fish, such as the head, bones, and skin, are not wasted. They are put into a high-temperature cooking line to extract pure salmon oil, an omega-3 rich oil used in medicine and cosmetics. In the roe separating area, workers skillfully cut open the belly of the female fish, remove the bright orange eggs, wash them in a special salt solution, and package them in small glass jars. This is salmon roe, a luxury food with high value in the international market. Each stage is strictly controlled in terms of temperature, time and hygiene. After processing, the entire product is stored in a freezer at -20 degrees Celsius to maintain its quality before shipping. Giant containers filled with hundreds of tons of salmon are loaded onto specialized trucks or refrigerated container ships. Starting their journey to countries around the world. There, they will become the main dish in luxurious parties, high-class seafood restaurants, or simply a nutritious family meal. That journey ends. But far out at sea, other trawlers continue to set off. In the midst of the night and rough waves, the yellow lights of the ships reflect on the sea like sparkling stars. Fishermen begin a new cycle of work, preparing nets, checking machinery, monitoring ocean currents, waiting for the salmon to return. It is a relentless, demanding and rewarding job. Each salmon caught and processed is not only a source of income but also the result of a combination of human labor, modern technology and respect for the sea that has nurtured generations of fishermen. When the salmon season is at its peak, trawlers work tirelessly day and night. Captains rely on data from satellites, GPS systems, and sonar sensors to find out the direction of the salmon. On deck, sailors take turns working. Some drop the net, some operate the winch, and some monitor the signals on the seabed. Whenever a large school of fish is detected, everyone quickly gets into position, coordinating well to ensure the net covers the right area. When the net is pulled up, each block of salmon weighing several tons is dumped onto the deck, water and blood mixed together and flowing down the drain. Workers immediately start processing. The big, healthy fish are processed first, using sharp knives to cut off the gills, clean the organs, and then put on stainless steel trays and put into cold storage. The temperature of the storage room is always kept at a deep negative level so that the fish meat does not spoil during the journey of thousands of nautical miles at sea. In addition, the ship is equipped with an IQF, individual quick freezing, system, which helps each salmon to be instantly frozen, preserving its natural structure and flavor. This technology helps the fish to remain as fresh as when it is caught when it is brought to the factory. When the ship arrives at the port, the unloading process is quick and precise. Forklifts, conveyor belts and cranes work continuously to bring all the salmon to the receiving warehouse. Factory inspectors weigh, record batch codes, classify and randomly check to ensure consistent quality. The first batches of fish are immediately transferred to the temperature-controlled defrosting area, where each fish is washed 3 times with cold filtered water before entering the cutting stage. In the deep processing area, the air is cold. The smell of fresh salmon mixed with a light salt scent. Dozens of workers work rhythmically, some cut fillets. Some separate the skin. Some remove small bones with stainless steel tweezers. All operations are monitored by cameras and hygiene sensors, ensuring that no impurities enter the product. After cutting and separating, the meat is divided into 3 types: fresh fillets, smoked fish and frozen fish for export. The automatic packaging line uses modern vacuum technology. Each product package is attached with a QR code so that customers can trace the origin from the fishing ground, fishing boat, to the processing plant. In addition, the head, bones and skin are transferred to the byproduct area, where they are processed into salmon oil, nutritional powder, or pure collagen. Here, steam and the faint smell of fish spread throughout the factory. The sound of the compressor and the continuous operation of the conveyor belt like the heartbeat of a giant living body. After packaging is completed, the salmon boxes are loaded onto refrigerated containers, covered with a thin layer of ice on the outside to maintain a stable temperature during transportation. From the coastal factory, dozens of containers are transported to airports or major ports, exported to Japan, Korea, Europe and the US. Every year, thousands of tons of salmon from the cold seas are delivered to consumers, serving high-end dishes such as sushi, sashimi, salmon steak or grilled salmon with garlic butter. Behind each beautiful slice of salmon is a long journey of people, from sailors struggling in storms, to workers meticulously performing each processing step. It is a symbol of perseverance, passion and pride in the maritime profession, where each salmon not only has economic value but also is a testament to the strength, intelligence and tenacious working spirit of people who live on the ocean after each season. Trawlers are put into maintenance. Their holds and heavy towing systems are cleaned in preparation for the next trip. Fishermen take advantage of the short time on land to rest. But their minds are still on the sea, monitoring ocean currents and water temperatures, factors that directly affect the migration of salmon. Large fishing companies often cooperate with oceanographic research centers, using sensors to track salmon with GPS chips, to accurately predict the location of the fish in the coming season. When all the data is ready, the ships set sail again at night, the headlights illuminating the sea. The trawl nets are prepared for a new working day. At the same time, in the processing plants on shore, the line is still working non-stop. Some of the salmon is sent to the deep processing line to create high-value products such as canned salmon in olive oil. Frozen salmon soup, salmon sausages or salmon burgers. Food engineers supervise the mixing process, ensuring the right ratio of spices, salt and natural preservatives to ensure the product retains its original flavor while still being safe for health. In other areas, salmon is lightly salted and then dried in natural cold wind, creating a specialty that is popular with people in the polar regions during the long winter. Each processing method reflects the culture and tradition of each coastal region, where salmon is not only a food source but also a symbol of abundance and prosperity. Boxes of salmon fillets are sealed in transparent packaging, labeled with international HACCP and ISO standards and exported to dozens of countries. In large supermarkets, images of fresh salmon are displayed in the cold counter. The reflected light makes the orange-pink color of the fish meat strangely attractive. Few people think that behind this sophistication is a series of hard labor at sea full of dangers. Big waves, strong winds, icebergs and long cold nights are what fishermen have to face. But it is their belief in their work, along with their desire to bring valuable food to people, that makes them resilient to stick to the sea. On the ship, when night falls, sailors sit by a pot of hot water, telling each other about previous fishing trips, about the time their nets were torn by waves, about the giant salmon weighing nearly half a ton being pulled up in a snowstorm. They consider it the story of their lives, of the never-sleeping seafaring profession. Meanwhile, at the factory, workers continue to pack, check each box, and arrange them into containers to make it to an early export. The sound of air compressors, forklifts, and cold storage doors opening and closing resounds regularly like the industrial heartbeat of the entire seafood industry. All blend into a majestic work song in the middle of the modern century, where technology, people, and the ocean become one. From a salmon jumping in the deep cold water to becoming a delicate dish on the dinner table. It is a long journey of effort, meticulousness, and respect for nature. Salmon fishing and processing by trawler is not just a job, but a living heritage, closely linked to the sea, to people who consider the waves and wind as friends, and the ocean as home every year. When salmon season returns, the fishing port becomes busier than ever. The sound of ship horns echoes across the water, and trawlers line up one after another, carrying tons of fuel, food, and the hopes of seasoned fishermen. On deck, cables are carefully inspected. Pulleys are oiled, and the giant trawl system is carefully rolled up. When out at sea, the captain relies on ocean current maps and signals from fish finders to determine where to drop the net. In the vast ocean, the ship moves slowly, dragging nets weighing several tons through the cold water. Each time the net is pulled up, it is a tense moment. All the sailors concentrate, hands holding the cables tightly, eyes watching the water surface where each thick wave of salmon rises. When the net is pulled up on deck, water splashes. Thousands of silver salmon thrashing violently, reflecting the light like a shimmering mirror on the sea. Cheers rang out when the nets were full, the joy of harvest after hours of hard work in the wind and waves. The workers quickly set to work sorting. Large fish were kept intact for filleting. Small or slightly injured fish were frozen whole. There was a separate processing area on the ship, where gills were cut, bellies were opened, organs were removed and the fish were washed with cold seawater to keep them fresh. Everything was put into a deep freezer, where the temperature was always maintained below -30 degrees Celsius, ensuring the fish remained intact until the ship returned to land. When the ship docked, the frozen salmon crates were unloaded by crane and transferred directly to insulated containers. From there, the fish were transported to modern factories located along the coast. Inside the factory, the cold air filled the air. Hundreds of workers worked continuously on long lines. The fish were thawed in cold, clean water, then passed through an automatic cutting system with stainless steel knives. The fillets are separated with absolute precision, then skinned, deboned, and washed one last time with ozone water to disinfect. The fresh, pink, shiny salmon pieces are sent through a vacuum packaging line, labeled with the origin, production batch code, catch date, and processing plant. Part of the product is canned, added with olive oil or light brine, and then sterilized with high-pressure heat for export. The remaining fish are put into the smoking chamber, where oak wood is burned at low temperatures, creating a fine smoke that permeates every fiber of the fish, bringing a characteristic aroma that Europeans love. In addition, salmon eggs, one of the most expensive parts, are manually separated with a thin knife, washed with cold brine, and packed in glass jars, exported to Japan and Russia with high economic value. The fish skin is used as raw material to produce collagen.